Where are you, Facebook? There we go. Good evening to everybody on Facebook. And let's see if we are live on the tube. And we are live on the tube. Good evening, everybody. I hope you've had a lovely bank holiday weekend. I completely forgot that it was a bank holiday. So you know what I've been doing all weekend. And that's working. But that's no surprise. It's just the norm. So there's a lot to do tonight. Good evening to everybody. Am I early? No, 1901. 1901. I'm on time. I'm never early. I'm on time. Right, so let's just sail over to everybody on the YouTube. I don't know whether we'll be as busy tonight with it being a bank holiday, but there you go. I just thought, why, well, I'm not going to change our routine. This is what we do on a Monday evening, so that's what we're going to do this Monday evening. So good evening to everybody on the tube. Let's have a quick look. So hi Pat, Margaret, another Margaret, Gwen, Paula, Joanne, another Margaret, Jan. I have to look to see if it's not the same person. Anne, Dawn, Jane, Shell, Melanie with a posh surname, Lynn, Audrey, Di. Hi Di. Happy Easter to you as well, darling. I hope you're all right. Hi Sue, Nina. Let's just flick back to Facebook. Oh crikey, you've all jumped on now. So good evening to everybody on the Facebook. Let's take that off. There's a lot to do tonight, and I wanted to do something that I don't think I've actually used it before on a live. So I wanted to give you an idea of how to use it. Just one idea of the many, many, many ways you can use our lovely little pots of white texture sand. Now I did tease you about this a few weeks ago, but I honestly can't remember if I've used it on a live. So I am going to show you one way that we would probably do when making pretty cards. Obviously this is designed to add texture to your paints, to your texture mediums, to any texture paste and anything like that. But we're going to use this with the flowers, so slightly different to what you would expect. So I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of texture to some of the flowers. So I've got all my cutting ready, which you will be glad to know. And we're going to use this through a stencil, and we're going to use it directly on the flowers when mixing with the texture mediums. So this is going to be a very pretty card. And I've said white on white, but that's just loosely white on white, because we are going to add some colour using the chalk paints, which is why I wanted the texture sand. So I've got my paints there. I'm not using all them, I'm just using two. Can't find you on Facebook, so come over to the tube. You're on Facebook, Helen. Hi to everybody else who's jumping on YouTube and Facebook. So hopefully this will give you some ideas. And these little pots of white texture sand, just so you know, it's not the same stuff that you get at the builder's yard. It's not home base builder's sand. This is proper artist grade sand. And if you haven't got one of these and you do like stencils and you do like texture paste, treat yourself. It's only a £5. And it lasts for ages, but it will give you something else to do with or it will give you a new look, a different effect. So you already know that we have two different sorts of texture medium. So the one in my left hand is the gritty texture medium that already has some fine grit in there. So obviously if you add it to the gritty texture medium, you're going to end up with a very, very textured texture medium, which is absolutely awesome. And it's fab if you like that shabby chic style, or you like working with grey board and canvases, that kind of thing. But it's also good if you like to do pretty projects, which is what I'm going to do tonight. And then on the other side, on my right hand side, you've got the regular texture medium. So the regular texture medium is the one that dries transparent, glossy. Hi Jean, hi Chrissy, hi. yeah, Helen, that's all that matters. Hi to everybody who's just joining. Best behaviour, please. Hubby's listening. He's had a hard day sunbathing. That's awesome. Does he want me to say anything about the sale that's on the website, Sandra? Hi, Joanne. So the regular texture medium is the one that we use all the time to mix the lustre powders with, the paints with, gesso or whatever you want to mix it with, the metallic paints to create different finishes. And this is now going to add to your choices. What, yourself, Chrissy? Oh my word. Well, I'm very envious. I wouldn't have done it. I'd have got somebody in to do it for me. So we're going to have a bit of a play. Now, I've got quite a bit. This is actually going to be a really simple card. Let me just clean my glasses whilst I'm talking to you. It looks like I've got loads of die cutting, and it's true, I have. But there aren't actually that many flowers. So we're going to use the texture medium and the gritty texture medium with the texture sand. Now just remember, it's worth noting, everybody, that the texture sand is white. So the difference with this, let me show you. So this texture sand is super fine. It's super fine, look. Oh, let's see if we can get a focus on that. There we go. It's super fine, but it's pure, it's proper white. So what that means is it will take on the colour that you put with it. So if you put, I don't know, if you mix it with a bit of the coral paint, you will end up with a textured paint in the coral colour. It doesn't alter the colour of your paint, which is really important for us as crafters, because you don't want something that's going to alter the finished colour. I've got quite a bit on this card in the way of die cuts, and I am going to show you as we go along with the... Oh, hi Karen, welcome. I am going to show you all the things that I've used as we go through the demo. Now, I don't normally do that, but as you know, Karen's on holiday and Saz is on holiday, so I'm going to be jumping about trying to get links for you as well. So let me just remind you all, before we start the actual demo, the bank holiday discount is already on the website. I don't think I've got a thing for the website. So I'll just copy and paste a link. That'll make it easy, won't it? So I'm just going to copy and paste a link to the website, okay? Before I start, I'm going to do it on both places, so I'm not neglecting any of you. So the discount is applied automatically on the website. So if you spend £25, not including your postage, by the way, so obviously postage is free if you get to, I can't remember, I think it's 40 quid now. But the discount, you will get 20% off. Now 20% is a really good discount. And I need to just tell you one more thing before we move on. The discount ends tonight. So this is your last chance or your last night to benefit from that 20% saving. The saving is deducted when you check out automatically, so you don't even need to put any codes in or anything. Oh, thanks, Chrissy. You don't even need to put any codes or anything in. The discount is applied automatically. So I'm telling you this because I'm using 2 of the big sets of dies, and if you haven't got them already, this is a really good time to get them, because 20% is not to be sniffed at. Right, so enough rattling. Look at the state of my mats. Do you know I've cleaned these about 15 times? I need to get some alcohol gel on them. So, where shall we start? We shall start with the stenciling. So, I'm going to just move all these things to one side and put them in piles so I know what I'm doing. So, foliage, there's a couple of things I'm using tonight that you can't get anymore, so I apologise. I should have planned it better, but I went with what I wanted. I went with what I wanted to use. So I had a proper panic moment earlier trying to find my mistletoe dies, because I used them, I think it was last week or the week before, and I couldn't find them. So I had a proper panic, but then I found them. Panic over. So I'm just putting everything in order before I start. I don't think you can't see the top of my mat, but I've basically got everything in piles. Oh, let me tell you this as well, this will impress you. Can you remember me telling you a few weeks ago I bought those fancy little extension cable towers? I've got them both on. I've got one on that side and one on that side, so I've now got 16 sockets. 16 sockets. I'm not using them all. I think there are 2 or 3 spare. So good evening to everybody who has just joined us. I've not actually done anything yet, apart from remind everybody about the discount on the website that runs out tonight. Right, so I've got here, let's start from the very beginning. It is a very good place to start. That's fab. I'm glad you take advantage of it. It does make sense. Oh, Saz is here. Hi, Saz. I thought you were on your jollies. Oh, no, son. Oh, bless you. It's quite sunny here still. But I've got another computer now on my other desk blocking the sunlight coming in. Right, so I've got here one of my top fold cards. So this is one of my top fold card blanks, one of the A5 top fold card blanks. And I have created myself a layer with the debossed double stitched rectangles, and I've also created myself a frame with the debossed double stitched rectangles. So I'm going to show you them. I know you've probably all seen them, so apologies to those of you that I'm repeating myself to. So debossed double stitched rectangles. Yep, where you've got the stitching detail on the inside and the outside. We're down to the last 30 odd of these. So once the stock of these is gone, obviously I won't restock it, because we'll be having something different eventually. And let me just tell you that if you... Is it this one? Yeah. If you fold your card blank in half and then trim it to 18 centimeters tall. So this card I have trimmed so that it's 18 centimeters tall. This die gives you the perfect mat and layer. Okay, so this one is the perfect mat and layer for you to start your card from. I use these all the time, so for anybody who is new to us, I can't recommend the double stitch dies enough. So we've got the base there, and we've also got the frame. We're going to start with the frame, and we are going to use this stencil. So this is the beautiful fanfare stencil. Oh, bless you. This is the beautiful fanfare stencil, and we're going to use this first. Now I'm doing a white on white card, so it's all going to be white except for a hint of lemon. And I'm just going to show you all the different shades of yellow I've got in my chalk paints. So, the chalk paints, you know I absolutely love them. Yeah. I've got 4 different shades of yellow there. And I'm going to go with the softest, which is this one, which is called Champagne Bubbles. And champagne, so if you could put me a link on for the chalk paints, just the chalk paint category, somebody, that would be absolutely marvellous. So we're going with Champagne Bubbles. Now Champagne Bubbles comes in a set with the Candy Hues. So it's the Candy Hues set, yeah? And the Candy Hues set has 5 very pale, pretty colours in it. You can buy them individually, obviously, but it's better to get the sets of 5 that I've put together for you. So we're going to use the Champagne Bubbles, and I'm going to use the gritty texture medium. So, oh, my slipper's just fallen off, hang on. And the gritty texture medium. So we're going to do this stencil on the frame. So you are going to actually see quite a bit of this frame when the card is put together. Hi Jackie, hi to everybody who's just joining. So you are going to see quite a bit of this frame when the card is put together, which is why I chose to do the frame rather than the inside of the card. I love this stencil. It's really, really pretty. So here we go. I'm using the gritty texture medium, and I'm going to change the colour of it with the champagne bubbles, and we're going to mix in some of the white texture sand so that we can make it even more textured. So this is going to be a very pretty card, and for anybody who like, oh, I don't do mixed media, well, this is mixed media. No if buts or maybes, this is mixed media. This has probably still got something on it from last time I used it, so let me just give it a wipe. Yeah, I was right, look. It's got green on it. Nobody wants a green one. Right, so the gritty texture medium, for anybody who hasn't had this, get it in your stash. You'll see, look, as I'm just rubbing it, that's a fine grit. So it's super, super fine. You barely notice it, if I'm honest with you. It's so super fine, you barely notice it. Which is why I'm going to make it a little bit thicker using the texture sand. This texture sand will last you for ages as well. So I'm going to pop a bit on my mat. That's probably more than I need, but better to do more than I need than not enough. So this is the gritty texture medium, remember. So the colour, that is the colour. And if you don't do anything else to it, it will stay that colour. Now, I don't want it to stay that colour. I want it to be, look at that lovely colour. So let me just get a clean spatula. Bear with me a sec. Oh, I've got about 15 over here. That's because I was trying to find them all the other day. What do you mean, Marlene? You're not sure what I mean? Ow, that was my chair. Right, so I'm going to take a little bit of the champagne bubbles paint. I'm not contaminating my sets. Oops, I've just dripped. Let's just get that off there. And I'm going to mix that up, and then I can see if it's enough. Oh, it is, look. I might put a little touch more in. So we've now changed the colour of the gritty texture medium to make it this lovely, very soft lemon. Now, you all know that I love yellow. It's no secret that I love yellows and oranges on my cards. I'm just going to add a little bit more. I want it to be a little bit stronger than that. Keep reminding me to have a drink of my coffee. Remember as well, just for anybody who hasn't done anything like this before, remember when you're adding a liquid to a liquid, i.e. like I'm doing now, to not go to, oh, that's better, to not go too mad. So this is now a very, very pale shade of lemon, which is perfect for the card that I'm doing tonight. I don't know whether you can hear the texture. You will when I start running it through the stencil. I'm going to put a bit more in. I don't want it to be too wet, but I want it a little bit stronger. Remember, if I'd have gone for a darker yellow, I would probably need a bit less, but I definitely want lemon tonight. Oh, it's quite warm in my room. Is my fan on? Oh, it's on. That's better. Perfect. Marvellous. I'm happy with that colour. And now we're going to put in some of the texture sand. I better not tip it up because you know what happens when I do that. when I start tipping things up, it tends to go everywhere. Oh, I haven't. Thank you, Nina. And I didn't even clean these ones. Oh, that's better. Can see the colour better. I'll try and answer your questions as I go along. No, it's not green. Look, let me show you. Let me show you on the back of a... Yeah, look. Can you see? Oh, wrong way, Phil. There you go. Can you see now? It's lemon. Is the texture sand around salt? Is it the texture sand around salt? Sarah Jane, I don't know what you mean. No, it's not. It's proper artist sand. Do you know what, Sandra? Incredible price. Right, so we're gonna mix a little bit of this in. So just remember, start with little and build it up to as chunky as you want it. So it's better to not put too much in. Oh, I can see the difference already. You probably can't on your screen. Can you hear it? I'm going to put some more in. Yes, it's definitely lemon. I'm going to put some more in. Look how little of this I'm using. Remember, it's not builder's sand, it's art sand. So you can actually see, if I bring this in, you can actually see the texture in it now. Don't ask me to build you a wall, but I can do, can you see the texture in there now, look? And you can do as little or as much as you like. I think that's enough, yeah. I think that's enough. So hopefully I've mixed enough to do the whole of this. Now I'm not doing all of this. I'm just trying to line this up so that I can get it similar on both sides. I'm just going to do the corners. I'm not doing the whole frame. So cover your eardrums because I'm going to scrape this through now. You can probably hear that. So let's just scrape some of that off. I'm trying to make sure I've got enough for the bottom half of this frame. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let me just do the bottom. So obviously I'm just trying to do areas. I'm not trying to fill the whole thing in. Forgive me if it's grating in your ears. So the difference between this is, let me just see if I've got enough on. Oh, that is awesome. I'm so happy with that. Let me just bring it in and see if you can get to see the texture before I move it out of the way. So let's see if we can do a close-up of this corner. Can you see the texture in that now? How awesome is that? It does sound like spreading butter on toast. It does a bit. How awesome is that? So we've now taken the gritty texture medium. We've changed the colour of it because it will dry this colour now. So we've changed the colour of it and we've also made it even grittier. So shabby chic, Bob's your uncle. Job done. And remember, you can spatula this on as well. Oh, it's a shame. It's almost a shame to waste that. Let me just pop that to one side to dry. Put it down here. I'm going to put it and make sure I don't ruin it with my chair. Now the only downside of this is you can't really use the waste. So let's try. See if we can use the waste. In fact, I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to pop that on there, spray it with water, and see if I can pick up some of this colour. I don't normally bother doing this, you know I don't, but this colour is super pretty. Remember, the Candy Hues set of chalk paints is all pretty colours. Yeah, that just looks like splodge. So that's going in the bin. That has gone in the bin. So let me just clean up before we move on. Oh, congratulations. Oh, I hope that doesn't mean you've got less money for crafting spends. Start saving up. So that is now cleaned off my stencil. Let's just clean my desk before we move on. So that's one way we've used the sand with the texture medium. I can feel it all in my fingers. So I'm just tidying up before I move on. Bear with me while I clean up, you know I can't work in a mess. I think you're going to like this when it's all put together. And hopefully it's showing you something that you've not done before. Job done. See, I don't mind messy as long as I can clean it up. Right, we're good to go. So we're going to use it in a different way now. Oh, it's roasting in my room. I say that every week, it must be my age. So now we're going to move on to the flowers, which is probably the way that you would do this the most. Now forgive me because I've used a flower that I don't think we have anymore, and if we have, you'll be very, very, very lucky. So I have used the Shabby Blooms. So the Shabby Blooms is the A5 set. Oops. With the debossed lines in it, look. And that is this flower with the debossed lines in. I've also used Precious Blooms, and I know Precious Blooms is sold out, so I'm sorry. So if we've got any of the Shabby Blooms left, you'll be very, very, very lucky. So we're going to do two things with this. We are going to pop the pearls in first. You've got the heating on, Jean. Crikey, I'm absolutely roasting. Yeah, it must be Elaine. Oh, that's good, Audrey. I'm glad I'm a good influence. So the first thing we're going to do is... I don't need that one. I just need this one. We're going to pop the pearls in first. So I've not done any shaping. We're going to pop the pearls in first. Or we are if the glue decides to work. There might be some... Am I allowed to swear today because it's Easter Monday? Oh, there we go. So the pearls are going in first. Don't shape it at this point. Okay. So I'm having grey pearls or gum. I think this is gunmetal. Oh no, it's not. It's pewter. Pewter shimmer. So I'm having pewter shimmer in the solid flowers. And I'm having lemon something in the open ones. So I haven't done any of this before because I wanted you to see how to do it. That's a dull one. I'm not having any dull pearls, thank you very much. And one more. So pewter shimmer in the solid flowers, and then I'm having, oops, oh look at, oh, do you know what, I thought I'd got a solid pearl there, but I haven't. It's two stuck together. And then we're having lemon sorbet in the open ones. Now you'll notice I'm putting the pearls in before we do anything with the paint or the texture medium. We're going to move on now to adding some texture to the solid flowers using the texture sand and the regular texture medium. So a slightly different way. I've chosen the grey colour to go with this, but we are going to have some lavender paint. And I'm not going to rush tonight because I want this card to be spot on. So the pearls are in. So pop them to one side. We're now going to grab a stipple brush. Let me see if I've got any old ones anywhere. Where's my toolbox? Here it is. Let me just see if I've got any old stipple brushes. That will probably do. Lemon sorbet is very pretty. The whole colour palette of this card is really pretty when it's finished. But I'm trying to take you through step by step. I'm trying to take you through step by step so you know exactly what I've done. So next bit of kitchen roll. And we're now moving on to the ordinary texture medium. So this is the one that dries glossy. And I'm bringing the flowers in. I'll probably just have to do one at a time to be fair. So this is better on the flowers that have the deboss lines in. And we're going to stipple this. Is that clean? It is. So I'm just going to take a bit of this texture medium, pop it on my mat. I do normally use the small mat for the mucky stuff, but I'm not. It's just so that you can see what I'm doing. Let me get a drink. Hi, Carol. Oh, bless you. So, stipple brush. You can do this with your finger, but I'm going to use a little stipple brush. Just remember that this won't do your brushes any favour, so definitely use an old one. So we're going to stipple on some of this texture medium, and I'm going around the pearl look. And I'm trying to put it on relatively thick. Not thick, but thick. Let me show you. So we've got texture medium going around the pearl now, look. Can you see? I'm see if I can get the others done before it starts to dry. It is really, really warm in my room. I say that all the time, but it is. And you know, next week you need to remind me to open a window. Oh, it's already open. So I'm not worried if it goes on the pearl. So don't stress about getting any on your pearl. So I'm only doing this with the solid flowers. If you get it on your pearl, look, just swipe it off the top. Definitely don't use a water brush for this. That's why I went to look for an old stipple brush. So I'm trying not to cover the whole of the petal. It's tricky with the smaller flowers. And it's definitely don't do this before you put your pearl on, because what we want is for some of this to go up the side of the pearl. It's easy to just wipe it off the top of your pearl like that, or your gem, whatever you're using. I can't see what you're saying to me at the minute, but I will look in a second. Might have a bit too much on this one, but it's too late. And then the last one is a small one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the flowers I've used have sold out. If we've got any of the I forgot what they were called. If we've got any of the shabby blooms, which is what I'm using at the moment, if we've got any of those, grab them, because I do know there's probably only a handful. And the open one is precious blooms, which I don't think we've got any of at all. So I'm just trying to do around this one. Remember, the thicker the better, really. And then just swipe it off the top of your pearl. Right, chuck that in the water. Just wipe that up. Pick that up. So I've now got texture medium going all the way around the centre of these daisies, flowers, whatever they are. And now I'm going to give you a tip. Get yourself a little lid from one of your storage tubs. And you know what we're going to do now. I'll start from the beginning with the first one. We're going to drizzle the texture sand on it. Oh, that's so good. You can just see it there. Look, you can just make it out. Oops. So pop that over there. I'm just going to repeat that with the others. This is why I said it's nice to get lumpy bumpy bits on this rather than trying to keep it smooth. And that's why you need to just, if you get any of the texture medium on top of the pearls, just wipe it off. Just so you can see the colour of your pearls. I've missed a bit there. So that'll be an odd one. That's going to bug me. Marvellous. Marvellous. I'm happy with that. Thank you very much. And now I'm not very patient. Let me do this over the bin. That's better. Oh, I didn't drop any of that. Wow. So now we've not got any in the lid, look. So we'll leave that texture medium to dry. It'll probably take about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes for it to dry. So whilst they are drying, I will pop them over there out of the way, and we will bring in the open petaled flowers. I've left that one on purpose because it's going to layer up with that one, look. There was no point doing that one. So we're now moving on to the open petaled flowers. Yeah, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with the result. It is my ice white card, yeah. That's the only card I use, really. Drink. Thank you, Sue. Crikey, it's nearly 7:45 already. Right, we're going to bring in the Champagne Bubbles paint again. Let me just get you a... Right, so YouTube is your link for the chalk paints. Remember, it's worth having the sets of 5 because you've got a completely coordinated set, which makes perfect sense. Champagne Bubbles is in the Candy Hues set. Oh, I think that is Candy Hues. Oh, it is, look. Or is it Coastal? Well, whatever. The paints are on there. Right, so now I need to get a clean stipple brush. Just remember, if you're going to have a go at this, the brush that you use for your texture medium, just make sure it's an old one, because unless you can clean it out thoroughly, it will dry stiff. I've still got brushes in here from last week. Look, it's revolting. So I'm going to get another one for this next part. I've got lots of stipple brushes, as you know, but I always try and use my old ones. I always try and use the old ones. So this time we're going to do a little bit of stippling with the paint, and we're just going to give these pretty flowers a little stippled effect in the middle. So just going from the lid. So I'm just stippling around the pearl. And I am doing lemon. This is the Champagne Bubbles. But we are going to add a little bit of lavender to this. Now I'm not sure which set the lavender bud comes in. You would need to look. So this is a whole white on white card, apart from these areas that we've coloured with the paint. So I'm doing about halfway down the petal with these. And you'll notice, well, you know that I like to use two or three different flower dyes or two or three different foliage dyes. I never use the set just one, and it just adds for more interest on your projects. Stops it just looking like a wano. So that's them, just with the little tint of the champagne bubbles. And then we're going to bring in the lavender bud. So lavender bud, I can't remember which set this is from, but it's like it's very much like a true lavender. All the shabby blooms are in stock, Lynn says. I'm trying to catch up. What flowers are you using? I forgot. I forgot myself. The ones that Sue's just posted the link on, Shabby Blooms. And she says we've got some. So if we have got any on the website, I would grab them. And Precious Blooms, which I think is gone. So now we're going to just use the lavender bud, which is a proper lavender colour. I'm just looking for another brush. I don't want to have to get a clean one, but I may have to. Oh no, here we go. And I'm just going to stipple a little bit of the lavender on here. So I've chosen lavender rather than a stronger colour, just because I want it nice and soft. So I'm just going around the pearl. So I'm going over the lemon, the champagne bubbles. So I've got a nice two-tone, and it also looks quite nice with the pewter pearls that I've used in the other flower. You can see I've just gone over the pearl on these smaller flowers. I've just gone over the pearl and then just wiped the paint off. If you do it before it's dried, oh, that's super pretty, look. That's better. So I've just got a little tint. Now these are very pale colours that I'm using tonight, so you probably won't notice so much until I start putting the card together later on. So I'm going to leave those there just in case I need them again. I know I need the champagne bubbles. Shabby blooms, not shabby bloomers. Right, we're going to come to the card now. Back to the card, just while we wait for these things to dry. This is drying quite nicely. It's not proper dry yet, so you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my coffee, and I'm just going to pop these on the warmer. Remember as well, you can use your texture sand for making stamens. I should have done that tonight to show you. So if you've got a little length of twine, oops. Oh, here we go. So if you've got a little length of twine like this, yeah, you can dab it in the texture medium and then dip it into the texture sand, and it will make a lovely little stamen. Right, so I'm doing nothing to this. This is just stained plain white. I've got on here the beaded heart lattice, the new 3D embossing folder. It's going straight in the middle with no colour on it. So there is no colour going on this. It's just white on white. Just while I've got you as my captive audience, there are no happy hours now until Karen gets back from holiday. So I'm probably going to do I'll probably do a couple of lives for you on a Thursday evening in the Facebook group, but there are no proper happy hours until she gets back, because it's too much for the girls at the shop to deal with when Karen's not there. So we've got that's just stuck on there flat. This is going on. Thank you, Janice. Oops, look at the state of my fingers. Where did that happen? Got things hanging off my fingers and all sorts. It's very rude. I might do one the week she gets back, but it's too much. I've got to try and balance the work out for everybody at the shop. I'm good, aren't I, like that? So I can't even give you any little hints so sneaky, not just yet, but I can tell you that I've finished quite a few things this weekend. Oh, it's a good job the lid was on that. Right, this is going straight onto my card, and then I'm going to glitter around the edge. So no glue on this because it's going on my card base. Never put glue on the piece that's going onto your card base. Yep, that's alright, that'll do. That'll do nicely. That's good timing. That's good timing. Delivery when he's... Oh, no, he's off work. Oh, it's bad timing. Right, so I'm just going around the edge of this with the glue and then the Diamond Dazzle. I am going to start... I don't think... Oh, where do I start with this? I don't think I'm on TV for another 2 weeks. The 5-week month has messed all my schedule up. And it's messed all the schedule up for the girls at the shop as well for classes. So I've changed my shows. I've changed my shows with Hobby Maker, because if I didn't, it would have been too late for me to do my Christmas release. So I've changed my schedule with Hobby Maker. I will do a little poster and share it in the Facebook group over the next coming days, so you know exactly when I'm on. But I don't think I'm on next week. I think it's the week after. So I've glittered around the edge of that layer that I've just stuck on with the foam tape. And I've just squashed that with my thumb. Yeah, pretty, pretty. And then just whilst we've got the glitter out, we will bring in the foliage. So I've got the dragonflies, which are going to be coloured. I've got my mistletoe. Everybody needs the mistletoe die. And I can guarantee you all, if you haven't got this when I do my Christmas release this year, you are going to kick yourself. Your internet keeps kicking you out. How rude. Did you change the times too, Phil? Yeah, they had to do a completely new schedule for me, Elaine. I will... Somebody remind me tomorrow. And I'll do a little poster. Somebody remind me in the group. And I'll do a little poster telling you when I'm on. You need the mistletoe die in your life, everybody. In fact, Chrissy or somebody, please just put me a link in for the mistletoe die, because you need it. There's another one I'm using tonight that's from the Christmas release as well, but I don't want to overload you. So I'm just putting a little bit of Diamond Dazzle on the tips of these. So all the time, all this glittering I'm doing now is just to, oops, I better check them before. Marvellous. Oh, that one's absolutely roasting. I think the pearls have melted. They haven't really. I'm just looking to make sure I'm not losing too much of the... I'm actually not losing any, which is perfect. Look, I'm not losing any. Marvellous. Well, the watercolours, let me just give you a little heads up. The watercolour pens, you need to be getting set 1 ASAP, set 1 and set 3. I'm not restocking the watercolour pens. I've restocked them so many times. That's it. Right, so the glitter's on there. I've got 3 little dragonflies here from the new dragonfly set. I'm going to colour in one of them. I should have done it before. I'm going to colour in this one in the lavender bud. So I'm just going to colour this one in fully with the lavender bud. If you're new to chalk paints, I can't tell you how fabulous they are. It's one, I've said it before, it's one of my favourite ever products that we've done. And then the other 2 are just going to be glittered on the wings. I know, sorry Katrina, I'm not restocking. I've done it too many times. So just a little bit of glitter on the tips of the wings of the dragonfly. I've been watching this. This is how exciting I am. I've been watching the snooker. And you know the funny thing is, what's really bizarre, is when we were kids and my dad used to watch it, I used to hate the snooker. We always used to moan at him saying how boring it was. But I love it. It must be an age thing. Now these you definitely can't get. You definitely can't get these anymore. But I just wanted some little berry sprigs. But you definitely can't get those anymore. They're from last year. And the Christmas stuff, for anybody who's new to us, the Christmas, well, just about everything actually is you need to be quick with these days. So I'm just glittering the berries. I put 2 of these to one side, so I think I only needed 2. But just in case, I'm doing them all. Just in case I change my mind. So now that texture medium, so what we've done with the flowers, as you can see, is the texture medium has dried slightly glossy, and we've now got the texture in there from the white texture sand. So we're going to paint over that. This is how fabulous the texture, the chalky paints are. We're going to paint over a glossy texture medium with the chalky paints and give it some colour, and it will subdue that glossy finish, so you won't even see any of the gloss from that. You need to go to the Crucible. Well, I've been to the Crucible when I was a kid, but the last thing I saw at the Crucible, I think, was probably Cinderella or something like that. Christmas, my Christmas won't be June. Just so you know, Sue's asked me over on YouTube. will there be Christmas in June on Hobbymaker? Yes, the Christmas event is in June on Hobbymaker, but it's when I'm on holiday, Sue, and everybody. So my Christmas release will be the beginning of July. Just so you know. Beginning of July, because the show, the proper Christmas event on Hobbymaker is whilst I'm on holiday. And as much as I love you all, I'm not coming back from my holiday to do telly. I'm not leaving that lovely sunshine. Right, so let me just show you these so you can see what's happened to them. So can you see, look, we've got all that texture in the middle around the pearl. Remember as well that I'm just working on plain cardstock. This is just plain white cardstock that I've die cut. And we're creating something from just white card. I'm going to stick to the champagne bubbles this time. So we're not using any of the lavender bud with this. This is just champagne bubbles. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm transferring some of the paint from the pot to the lid. And I'm going to stipple everywhere now around where the texture medium is. Oh, that looks so marvellous. Yes, I've gone over the pearl, but you know I'm going to wipe it off. So I always leave the tips of my flowers white, as you know. This looks so good. It's a really subtle, delicate texture in the middle of these flowers. It looks fabulous. I will wipe it off the pearl, don't panic. Panic ye not. I'm just going to bring this in and show you. So what happens is, as the paint dries, it will obviously dry with that lovely chalky finish. I shouldn't have done that because I've got paint all over my finger. I'm on holiday middle of June, Nina. So I'm just going to wipe off the top of the pearls, look. Do you know what? I should have just done it with a baby wipe. That's better. I've still gone back to licking my finger. Right, let me just bring that in and show you. Move it away so you can see the texture. So we've now got lemon over the texture from the sand. There you go, look, you can see it on that one. So we need to just let that paint dry for a second. It doesn't take long. The chalky paint dries quicker than you think. Oh, look at this. That is so gorgeous, and it's bone dry. So whilst we just leave that paint on the flowers to dry for a second, we will... Are you not doing any Wednesday classes in June? It depends on the dates, Nina. I honestly... Karen's the best person to ask because I don't know what I'm doing one week to the next. But she's on her holidays at the moment. Now I am doing this with foam tape just to keep it sturdy. I go away on the 13th. So I'm not sure when the classes are around that. I do know that when we get to August, my schedule is back to normal. So it's back as it would be now. It's only June and July that have changed, and it's just been very awkward because as I say, I'm away in June, and then I get back, and then I'm away the week after I get back. We're going to Scotland for a wedding, so it's just how it's fallen this year. So next year you need to remind me not to book holidays for June. So it is worth just taking a minute to do this with foam tape rather than the glue jam. You can actually see that it holds its shape better when you've got it's kind of reinforced from the foam tape. Hi Jenny. Yes, I'll be, yeah, I would imagine so, Nina. Oh, Nina. No, I think it'll be the week after that, Nina. I think. Yeah, it has, Joanne. Friday the 13th is when we fly, I think. It's a good job I'm not superstitious. Ayrshire, Louise. I'm going for a coffee with Georgine whilst I'm up there. We're going for a few days, and I haven't decided yet whether to take the train or drive, because I do actually, as sad as this sounds, I do actually quite enjoy the drive to Scotland. It's just mindful for me. So last part, and then we will start the assembly. So this has taken about as long as I thought it would. And I'm going to show you this stenciling with the extra sand with the extra texture sand in the stencil paint. Oh, look at these scissors. Ayrshire is are you there? Are you there, Louise? I should have seen how many of you there are, and we could have all gone for a coffee. Obviously we've got family up there, which is why we're going up for the wedding, so we do want to spend time with them. Fabulous is that texture. Right, so I'm going to pop this on first. Oh, you're not too far away then. It's about 40 minutes, I think. I'm trying to think where the wedding is. Oh crikey, it'll come to me in a minute. It's where you get on the ferry to go to Millport and Rossi. For the life of me, I can't remember what the place is called. So I'm just taking the back off these. Oh, that's fabulous. Aberdeen, I've never been that far. Oh yeah, lovely, June. We have been there before. So just while I'm doing this boring part, I'll just remind you again about the bank holiday sale that's on the website. So if you spend, oh, I've got no idea what it is now. I'll need to look and check, but whatever, it's 20% off. So I am going to put some glue on the back. Largs, yeah, that's where the wedding is. So let's just get this card put together. So I am putting glue on the back of that this time. That's right, yeah. I love Millport, I've not been there for years. So this is going in the middle, and now we can see it's starting to take some pretty colour on. So all white. The only colour is from the paint. That lovely texture medium look, and it looks fab with the heart embossing folder underneath it. It is. Yeah, I've got family there. Wow, it just shows you what a small world. Right. Oops. So we've got a couple more little jobs to do. I've got two more. I've got the sheet labels here. These are the double stitch sheet labels. And I'm going to colour the bottom one and leave the top one plain white with glitter on. So I'm just going to do this around the edge, and again I'm just using the champagne bubbles. So by the time this card's put together, the little hint of the lavender is enough. I should have done this earlier, I forgot. So I'm just going to stipple around the edge with this. So I'm not worried about this being covered, he says, having covered it. Oh, it's a shame to waste the paint that's on the brush. I put far too much paint on this brush. Oh, what can I do? Yeah, let's do that. I'm not sure whether I'm putting this on or not yet, but I'll colour it. Just around the edges. Right, we are now done with the colouring. So I'll just let that dry for a second. They do, Jean. It's one of my favourite shapes. The sheet labels are one of my favourite shapes. They all are. You know what I'm like. I have a new favourite every week. But that's the advantage when you've done your own stuff. I'll tell you what. Do you know when I was prepping? This is a true story. When I was getting this ready earlier, when I was cutting all the bits and everything, I was thinking there's so many things that I can't use anymore because we just don't have any. And we've had lots and lots of lovely new followers in the Facebook group and everything. And it's a shame really because I can't use some of the things that I want to. But there you go. I could, but I can't because it's just tormenting people. I better cover that up. The boss on some days. So let's just glitter around the edge of this. Did we have the flowers in, Jackie? You were lucky. I'm just glittering around this one, so I'm leaving it plain white. So no stenciling, no colour, just plain white with glitter. And this is all just to offset the colour from the paints. So it really should be a delicate soft card. And that's the beauty of the chalky paints. They are very delicate. Even if you use the stronger colours, it dries proper chalky. It's class in a glass. Just give that a little blow. Words I've probably said before. Let's pop that on there. The boss of what? Yeah, you're right, Chrissy. Right, this is not 100% dry yet, so just leave it for a second. What we'll do is we'll see if the flower paint's dried. That needs to be 100% dry before I can put anything on the back of it. So now I'm going to see if I can bend my flowers. I can just... Yeah, you're going to like this. I don't know whether I've ever done this before, but not on a live anyway. So I'm just bending these up, look, and then squashing it with my hand. Please show you the honeydew and pistachio cardstock. The honeydew and pistachio cardstock. Remind me, it's only on to the side of me there, so I can show you. I can definitely show you. We all know that's Karen's coaster. Yeah, double D, Gene, you're right. I was thinking about the double D embossed earlier because I think it's time for some new ones. And I used them for something the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, I love these dies. I loved them when I did them, and I still love them now. That texture looks awesome in these little flowers. Awesome. And it's not something you see everybody doing. So I'm just trying to rough these up a bit, so they are shaped up but roughed up a bit. Right, let's see where we're at. Are we dry? We are now dry, so I'm happy to put the foam tape on the back of that. Hi Linda. I did. I've drunk most of it, to be fair to me, tonight. I'm trying to behave. I'm not very good to it. Oh, Georgine, I can't remember. Yeah, of course you can come for coffee too. CA. Yeah, new double deboss would be welcome. Yeah, you're right, Anne. Ardispina, I'm 3/4 done. Yeah, Logs. But I can't remember what the hotel's called. Anne, I'm sorry, I'm just talking to YouTube. Anne, could somebody let me know via Messenger the dates for... Oh, right. You've not got... Right, okay. Let you know the show dates. I'll put it on the website as well, Anne. Would that help? So I'm just trying to make sure this is dried enough so that it doesn't go kinky. We don't want it too kinky. Of course, we all know that if it's not 100% dry, it will go kinky. Right, so now we're at the best part now, the assembly. Just put a little bit more foam tape on here. Right, here we go. My favourite part. So we're starting with the, I mean, that looks beautiful before I even do anything else to it. They are, Joanne, it's true. Something usually gets its head kicked in, doesn't it? Either a butterfly or a flower. So let's get this on. No die cuts were harmed in the making of this video. So as ever, when you're putting a layer onto an embossed piece of card, I've got just changing the subject ever so slightly. The next thing that I'm bringing you is some stamps, and this was an idea I had. You know when you have an idea and you think, how do I make that work? And I've made it work. And I think when you see them, you're going to wonder why I've never done it before, because I did. So that's just popped straight in the centre. We'll do the same with this one. Yeah, these stamps are something special, and it's not so much from the design point of view, but from the point of view of what you can do with them. and it took me a while to get the measurements and everything right. So I really hope you like them. I can't remember what the show date is, so don't ask me. Right, so first things first. I'm not sure whether I want that on or not yet, so I'm going to wait till the end. So I've got a couple of my little... Always do one extra of the delicates. Do you know what? So I should know that by now, shouldn't I? I've got here a couple of my little pine cones from the Bare Branches and Pine Cones set. Now, the same as the mistletoe, I'm just going to give you a quick heads up, because you will, when you see this year's Christmas release, you will want the mistletoe and you will want the Bare Branches and Pine Cones. That's all I'm saying to you. You will want these. And I genuinely have got no idea how many we've got. I've got no idea. But I can tell you that whatever's left will probably be gone when I do my Christmas release. Right, why can't I find my little phone folder? It's not where it should be, so I'll use this one. So I'm just shaping these. I'm putting no glitter on these. I'm just leaving them as they are because they've got that lovely debossing detail in them. And you all know that I use these throughout the year. It's not just a Christmas set. Same as the mistletoe. Let me just show you these, look. Aren't they just gorgeous? And they're only diddy things. Well, you can see, look. Right, so flowers. Here we go. I've just got to pop my small flower. Aren't they pretty? I've just got to pop the small flower onto the large one here. And then we will get this put together. I have got a sentiment to stamp. I couldn't decide what colour to stamp it in yet. So, let's just pop this on here first. That is the biggest one, I'm just making sure. So I'm just popping that on there, look. And now we're moving on to glue gel. I shall do that for you, Anne. It's actually something I should have done before. So the open flowers are from... the Precious Blooms. You get open and closed in that set, but I don't think we've got any of them left. I keep saying that a lot. It's just giving you a heads up that you need to be quick these days. Right. Oh, I nearly told you something I shouldn't have done. So I'm just going to pop this large flower on first, and then we're going to do the sentiment, because the sentiment needs to go on after I've done this. Just trying to get the most textured bit showing, which is there. So I'm just going to pop that just off that corner. So moving on to the sentiment, and I should have somewhere the other part of my die cut, which seems to have gone astray. Why do I lose something every week? What's happening to my craft room? This should be the inside part of that. Bear with me a sec, everybody. I might have to cut another one. Yeah, I'm going to have to just cut another one. Just bear with me a second. So just, oops. So from the sheet labels set, I'm just going to cut this one here for my sentiment. It'll only take me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I better find it afterwards. Right, job done. That is my floorboards creaking, but I am in an old house. So I've got that for my sentiment there. And I couldn't decide whether I wanted a black sentiment or a grey one or a lavender. So I'm just going to find milled lavender. Where are you? Milled lavender. Because I think milled lavender will pick out the colour from the lavender bud. From the lavender bud paint. No, it's slightly too purple. Slightly too purple. I am losing my marbles as well. I'll find it afterwards because I know I cut it. So we will try grey. Let's try Lost Shadow. Lost Shadow and what's the other one? Let me just try Lost Shadow. That's too grey. Shaded Lilac. I couldn't decide, you see, earlier when I was prepping whether I wanted a... That's far too purple. La 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 la. Dusty Concord. What's the other new grey? Dusty Concord. Bear with me, everybody. I know I'm fussy, but it needs to be right. It needs to be right, otherwise it will just make my brain hurt. That's what we're going with. A scattered straw. After all that. Right, so sentiment. I'm using one of the Just Saying Rustic mini sentiments. So the Just Saying Rustic, and there may be a few more additions to this soon. Just saying. And I'm going to have... Oh, I don't like that. I don't like... Do you know what it is, Saz? It's because I'm not really a fan of purple colours. Oh, lots of choices. Sent with lots of love for you today. Sent with lots of love for you. I like that. I'm not a fan of purpley colours, so I always struggle, unless it's plum, unless it's a really dark plum, I always struggle with lilacs and purples. Blues are my comfort zone, as you know. And lemon and yellow and orange. Is it funny how we're all different? So I am going to stamp this central. So just bear with me while I just bring it close to myself. So sent with lots of love. Oh yeah, that's lovely. It's a little bit stronger, but it'll be fine. Do you know what my desk looks like, Leonie's? I wish you could see it. Well, no, not quite. Not quite. I've done it now. Morning mist might have worked, actually. The grey colour. But I've done it. We've gone for lemon. Squeezed lemonade. Right, sentiment can go on next. No glitter on the sentiment. And it is going raised. Just a little bit. I'm probably going to use this card, which is why I want it to be marvellous. So no glitter. It's going bang central and slightly raised. Yep, spot on. And now the rest of the assembly. Do you know, I've got no idea. Oh, I've never changed my glasses back to my crafty ones. So I wonder I can't find anything. Oh, they're on my head. Oh, I love lemon and yellow and orange together. Steptoe's desk. That's brilliant. Steptoe's desk. Right, so we're building the card up now. So as ever, flowers before foliage. And it's nice to have the combination of the solid flowers and the open flowers. And it's also nice that we've got the texture in the solid ones, but the duo tone in the open ones. So we've actually got quite a few techniques going on here, but it's all very well balanced. Or I hope it is. It should be by the time we're finished. So don't worry about the glue gel, because you know what will happen to this when we've finished. It's going to be dipped in or dropped in Diamond Dazzle. Some little dinky flowers. The colours are stunning. Let me just tell you this as well. So if you have, I mean, a lot of you will already have the chalk paints. For anybody who hasn't got any of the chalk paints, anybody here will tell you just how fabulous they are. They're a bit of a game changer for us card makers, because they are designed to work on cardstock, glass, ceramic, air dry clay, whatever you want them to work on. But you can replicate this card. All you need basically is a set of the chalk paints and the texture paste, texture medium. Ooh, just throwing the tweezers at the flower, so this flower better behave, because it's just been abused. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm saving one of these little flowers to go on there. And I'm trying to leave myself enough space for the mistletoe. Hang on a minute, I've got lost there. That's it. For the mistletoe and the foliage. So I've only got the mistletoe and the berries. Look how lovely the flowers look with that sandy texture in the middle. And then this little flower is for there. So I'll pop that on first. Just checking everything's straight as it should be. Yeah, this is just packaging that it's just easier for me. Right, so the mistletoes are going in next. Just making sure I've got the right ones. So the mistletoes are the longest. I wished I'd not called it mistletoe, although it is mistletoe. Ooh, just knocked my glasses off my face. Although it is mistletoe, but I use it all year round. So I'm just going to take off a little bit of the edge so I can make it shorter. Mistletoe first. Do you know, I've got no idea what time it is. So the mistletoe is going under here. The same at the top. I've been quite restrained with the flowers this time. The good thing about this is as well that once it's all set, you can play around with the mistletoe and shape it and bend it and everything, which looks really rather lovely. Yeah, I do want the 4. These scissors are all glued up. Mr. Holt, these are non-stick scissors, so why have I got glue on them? So just as a little detail, you know, this is why I always have a left facing and a right facing. So we've got this one at the top with a little bit on the inside. So I'm going to have this one here with a little bit on the outside. So it's the opposite to the one we've got at the top. I've just got to turn it round. Here it is. And same at the bottom. We are getting there. I'm only on the last bits, so if you're bored, not got much to go. Right, then the berries. Berries next. The berries also have a left facing and a right facing. I can't see what you're saying to me at the moment, but I promise you I will look later. Once I've got a fresh coffee. Or I might even have a velvetizer tonight. Oops. I'm just pushing that round because I know what I want on there. It's far too much. Just remember, and I will say it again when we've come to the end. Your discount expires tonight. Everything will be back to the discount code will be gone tomorrow. And one more berry. I told you it was a super pretty card. And the good thing is whether this is your colour palette or not, it doesn't matter, because it would look fab in any colour palette. Right, almost done. So we've got 3 little pine cones to put in now. Now I've purposefully not put any glitter on the pine cones. I've left them plain, just plain white, because we've got that lovely debossing detail, so it's just another texture that we can add to this card. And although they are synonymous really with winter, hang on a minute, I need a bit more on that one. Let me just change that to a different one. They do actually look fab, just as little embellishments on any card. I needed a bit more on there. That's it. I'm just tucking them underneath. Details are my thing, as you already know. Oh, it's so pretty. So this, I was going to have it down there, but I'm not putting it on. So the dragonflies, and then we are good to go. So I'm just shaping the wings of the dragonflies just slightly. These are the smallest ones from the new dragonfly set. And I am using all 3. And they are dinky dinky. These were a nightmare to do. Especially the little lacy ones, look, but they are super pretty. So I'm just going to pop these dragonflies on. So I'm having the lavender bud is going next to the sentiment. It's the smallest amount of glue gel. I could actually have done it with ordinary glue. Yeah, it's gonna have to go here. I'd not put this, I'd left the sentiment central, so I should have popped it further to the left. There you go, lessons learned. That'll bug me now, because my plan was to have it next to the sentiment. Just trying to catch some glue gel. I like my details. And then the last one, I need a little bit more. Because it's going on a flower. Oh, let's have it here. Right, I've just got to clean my finger because I've got glue gel all over my fingers, which everything's sticking to. You've been using the bees. The bees are gorgeous, aren't they? But you know me and dragonflies. I've always liked dragonflies, always. There's just something very magical about dragonflies. I don't know whether there's any left, of course, because I never check, but there's just something very magical about dragonflies for me. Glue gel, where are you? Put the lid on. And I've just got one more job to do, and I'm pretty sure you know what it is. I just want to put a couple of random pearls on here. Just a couple, and I think we'll do a combo with the, oops, a combo of the two colours that we've used in the flowers. Actually, I think two's enough. No, I can't have two, it's got to be three. Hang on. Got to be three, so we will have two pewter ones up there. And then one lemon one. And we are good to go. I'm very happy with this card. It looks stunning, even if I say so myself. So let's have a little close-up of this. So remember, I've made an actual card. So it's a stand-up. Oh, it would look nice that way, wouldn't it? Not the one I've made tonight, obviously. But let's just have a look at the details in this card, yeah? It's very, very pretty. I told you at the beginning it was going to be very pretty, but it's kind of what you expect from me. But what's special about this is the texture that we've added. So the stenciling, remember, I've not done the whole frame. I've left white bits, but the stenciling with that gritty. I've got the wrong glasses on. Let me just change my glasses. I can't see the screen. That's better. So the gritty texture, sand in the stencil looks awesome. And remember, we've coloured that gritty texture medium with the champagne bubbles paint. So not only have we got the gorgeous colour palette going on just from two chalk paints, look how lovely this lavender bud is. It's almost like a bluebell kind of colour, but more subdued, like a dusky lavender colour. Got the little dragonflies, the chalk paint there, the scattered straw stamp for the sentiment, and look at these lovely flowers with the sandy texture in the middle. How gorgeous is that? It's just something different, and it looks super, super pretty. Texture, easy texture, and that's how fab it is. So this card would look gorgeous in any colour palette. So regardless of whether you go lemon or whatever, if pink's your thing, it would work with that as well. Just chuck these in the water. And I've had a thoroughly marvellous time making that tonight, I've got to be honest, because this is 100% my comfort zone and my thing. Pretty cars, very elegant, very stylish, and there we go. So how about that? Is the sandy texture very different from the gritty paste? It is, Katerina, yeah. So the gritty, it's really hard to show you this. The gritty texture medium, the grit that's in it is super fine. It's barely noticeable, which is why I added more. That's why I wanted the white texture sand, so you can put as little or as much in. So we're already changing a slightly textured gritty texture medium and making it even more so. Remember as well, you can paint with this, so you can, thanks Zoe, you can paint with this as well. So if you've got grey board or anything like that, you can use a flat brush or a spatula and spatula it on, which is what makes it really rather fab. I'm just covering up the glue gel before it dries. I can't bear to see glue gel on my cards, and if you can see it, it needs to be pretty. If it's sparkling, it doesn't bother me so much. There we go, job done. Right, so let's show Vicky the colours of the cardstock before I forget. So soft pistachio, and what was the other? Honeydew. Soft pistachio and honeydew. So soft pistachio on the right, honeydew on the left. So honeydew is like a minty green, like a pale minty colour, and pistachio is like a pale pistachio. There you go, I hope that helps. So remember, let's do a little giveaway. I think I'll do the stencil actually. We'll do the stencil. Thank you, Helen. Are you there on Wednesday, Helen? Are you at class on Wednesday? I'll bring this with me to show everybody. So I'm going to do the stencil as the giveaway. So somebody on YouTube will win the stencil and somebody on Facebook. If you've already got it, you've got another. Dirty sage, that's what I need. So pistachio, well, the honeydew is probably closer to a sage, although it is minty. Right, so let's just have a do the winners. So remember everybody, I'm just going to get you a link for the website. I'm just going to the main page. Your 20% off all orders over £25 ends tonight. Do not waste the chance to use that 20% off, because it's substantial when you start buying the big dies and everything. It's definitely worth getting the things that you can while you've got a 20% off discount. So I'm going to pop over to YouTube and do the winner first. I will take a photo of this at some point tomorrow. Well, you know what I'm like, it's usually Karen that has to do it. Before I move on, let's just do all the socials for anybody who's new to us. So if you haven't yet joined our Facebook group, you can search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours, and you can request to join our Facebook group, which is absolutely full of fabulously talented, lovely crafters. You do need to answer the questions when you request to join, and you also have to accept our rules, otherwise it won't let you in. Our Facebook page is obviously Sentimentally Yours, and the shop Facebook page is Honeypot Crafts, so do give us a like and a follow on there. My Instagram is Phill M Martin. TikTok is the same. Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, is the same. The YouTube channel, for anybody who hasn't yet subscribed, please do so. Click that subscribe button and the channel is there. Look, you'll find it, Crafting with Phill Martin. And our blog, which I'm going to get them back on again, is phillmartin.wordpress.com. and Saz and the design team run that for me. So let's choose the winners. If your name is drawn, you just need to send me a private message with your name and address and a little reminder that you've won one of my 6x6 stencils, and we will get that whizzed off to you as soon as possible. So Facebook first, here we go. Not Facebook first, YouTube first. So good luck everybody on YouTube. Scrolling. There is a song in there, I'm sure. So my mouse has landed on Shell Porter. So Shell, congratulations, you've won the stencil from the YouTube side tonight. So you know what the drill is. Private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with a name and address and a reminder of what you've won. So congratulations, Shell. Right, over to... So everybody on YouTube, I will see you next Monday evening. I probably will do a live in our Facebook group on Thursday this week, but it won't be a happy hour. I'll try and get you some sort of deal, but it won't be a proper happy hour. So thanks everybody on the tube. I will see you on Monday next week. So Facebook, here we go. Oh, outstanding. I'll take that. Thank you, Jeffrey. Right, I'm just going all the way to the top of the comments so it's fair to everybody. So scrolling. Hang on. Scroll. Oh, that's a name I don't recognise. So, Joanne Brentnall. I hope I've said your name right. So, Joanne Brentnall, you've won one of my stencils from the Facebook viewers. So, you need to send me a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address and a reminder of what you've won. So, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will see you in the Facebook group on Thursday evening. Probably. I will let you know if it changes. Reminder, if you haven't yet joined the Facebook group, that's where you will find us, Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. And one last reminder for the YouTube channel, because I'm going to make you all subscribe if it kills me. And the channel there is Crafting with Phill Martin. So thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Look at the time as well, bang on 9 o'clock. Thank you everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you on Thursday in the group or next Monday on YouTube. Thanks everybody. Bye.